Today, we'll delve into the world of independent sales agencies and the value they bring to businesses, explore the opportunities within the industrial and MRO market, and learn about the unique partnership and entrepreneurial journey of Katie and Emma.
You know what? Because we worked together before we became business partners, we had a really strong foundation. We kind of were brought up in the same company, so we saw things very, very similarly.
Now, Donwin Marketing specializes in serving the industrial and MRO, that is the maintenance, repair, and operations market.
We were very focused on developing a culture around it with our team that we weren't putting this in place as, a checkup. We weren't kind of looking over people's shoulders or, watching their activity.
Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking to expand your sales reach, build stronger relationships with distributors, and access top quality products for your business? Hi, this is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the diverse paths to entrepreneurship and the innovative strategies that drive business growth in Canada's dynamic marketplace. Small and medium-sized enterprises, those are the SMEs, are the backbone of the Canadian economy, accounting for 99.8% of all businesses and employing over 10 million Canadians. According to Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, SMEs contribute significantly to Canada's GDP and are key drivers of innovation and job creation. Joining us today are Katie, Cornelius, and Emma, Irwin, partners at Donwin Marketing, an independent manufacturers representative agency that has been connecting businesses with top quality products for over 20 years. Their experience in sales, marketing, and building strong relationships makes them valuable resource for businesses across various industries. Today, we'll delve into the world of independent sales agencies and the value they bring to businesses, explore the opportunities within the industrial and MRO market, and learn about the unique partnership and entrepreneurial journey of Katie and Emma. So, let's dive in. Welcome to the podcast, Katie and Emma. How are you doing today?
Great.
Good,
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Great. So, first of all, your dedication to building strong relationships and your expertise in connecting businesses with top quality products make Donwin Marketing a valuable partner for companies across Eastern Canada. We're very eager to learn from your insights and understand how your agency model drives success for your clients. Now, let's start by discussing the power behind this successful partnership, understanding how personal and professional synergy shapes thriving businesses, and we'll set the stage perfectly for that. Katie, you can share the story of how you and Emma, started this whole partnership journey, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, for sure. So Emma and I actually met over a decade ago now. We met both living in Ottawa and working for a previous employer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we would both say that the day that we met, it was one of those instant connections where we, met and really felt immediately like we're going to be friends.
Right.
And, we did continue that. We were friends and coworkers for a long time at our past life. And about 6 years ago, Emma's father had started our agency back in 2002, and he had started to think about his succession plan and what that was going to look like. So around 6 years ago, we started having conversations about that, and we ended up both deciding to leave our current employer at the time and joined Donwin Marketing, and now today we are business partners and owners together.
Wow, that's a very unique and inspiring story. Your strong personal and professional connection clearly contributes to the success of your partnership, and I can see the tuning between both of you. How was it for you in the beginning?
You know what? Because we worked together before we became business partners, we had a really strong foundation. We kind of were brought up in the same company, so we saw things very, very similarly.
Right.
But with that said, we also approach our business very, very differently, which is really complementary in a partnership.
Exactly. Right.
And I think when we first started, the number one thing we had to figure out was how to communicate.
Definitely.
And there were a couple bumps on the road, on the
For
path
sure.
to learning how to communicate with one another. But we always say, we really respect each other, we really appreciate each other, and that's our foundation. So you learn in a partnership what's important to the other person, and you
Right.
learn, where you need to make concessions and where you really need to push your own, motives forward. So I think after the first year, once we figured that out and that balance between one another, we were really able to let, Katie's strengths show when they need to, mine when they need to, and have that complementary relationship.
Wow, a very beautiful story again. Now, many of our listeners may not be familiar with the role of a sales agency in particular. Can you explain to our audience what the function of a sales agency is and how does it exactly add value to businesses of all sizes, particularly in today's competitive market?
Yeah. So before joining the sales agency, I also didn't know what a sales agency was.
Right.
And they exist in all industries, not just in the one that we operate in. And there is this kind of veil of secrecy around agencies going, what do they do? What is their primary function? And it really is quite simple. We are essentially an intermediary between companies and prospective customers that they want to transact with. So our main role is really helping buyers and sellers come together and transact, in a really cohesive way. So our agency typically represents the seller. The buyer is our customer. And we do all the traditional sales functions that are out there. So we're promoting products, we're marketing products, we're moving opportunities through a pipeline. Really the value that a sales agency brings to, companies of any size is it's an alternative sales force. So,
Right.
A mid-size or large corporation that's looking to bring on a sales team, they can hire people themselves.
Right.
And there's a lot that goes along with that. You have to attract talent, retain talent, employ talent. The agency model is a little bit alternative. It's a way to really, cost save with your sales force. With a group like ours, you bring us on, we negotiate a commission percentage. And if we grow your business, our compensation goes with that. If we don't do that, then it naturally flows the other way. So
It
it's
should be a win-win situation for both the parties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a very predictable way to go to market. And it's a really fast way for companies to go to market as well. So we've operated in our territory for over 20 years. We know our customer base. We know, when something is going to be a good fit and how they like to buy. So we can really help companies go to market in a very quick way.
Very interesting. If I were to ask you one USP or unique selling point of your business that differentiates you from the other sales agencies out there, what would it be? How do you envision that?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is we're aggressive. We are incredibly aggressive, and we work very, very hard. So,
the operations part of it, you say.
Yeah. We treat every opportunity, whether it's big or small, like it's life or death. We go hard on them. So
I think definitely we're very aggressive. We work very hard. I would say the thing that kind of popped to my mind is the, relationship, and I would say market demand we try to build at the end user level, and not to overcomplicate it, because for somebody that doesn't understand what an agency does, I was very confusing when I started, but essentially we do sell our products through distribution, and then the distribution channel sells the products to the end user, the people that are actually using those products. And we will work directly at the end user level with the people using our products day in, day out to create a demand and, show and sell the features and benefits of the products that we have compared to the competition, so that they can then go to the distribution partner of their choice and make those purchases. I do think there are agencies that do that. I think a lot of them are primarily focused on the distribution network exclusively. So, we try to have that tandem approach by doing both.
Very interesting. You're making lives simpler for everyone. Now, Donwin Marketing specializes in serving the industrial and MRO, that is the maintenance, repair, and operations market. Can you share a little bit about your experience working within this industry, the specific challenges you guys faced? I'm sure there must be a lot, right? And the specific opportunities you've encountered, you've pounced on, and the outlook, of the future in the industrial and the MRO market in Canada.
For sure. I think, again, to Emma's point, when we came into Donwin Marketing, neither of us really had a good understanding of what the industrial segment was.
Right.
And I think it is often overlooked, which, to be honest, it is, when you talked about small business being the backbone of the Canadian economy earlier, that is really the industrial sector. When you think about it, the products and services that we sell are used by the companies that are supporting, everything from food and beverage processing to automotive parts manufacturing to the construction of the infrastructure, the roads, the transit systems, the residential and commercial buildings, the hospitals and educational facilities in the communities that we live and work in. So, this really drives the economy forward. So from an industry perspective, and looking at the opportunity, I think it's incredible. I think even now more so with some of the economic challenges we're seeing at the border, there is, a massive opportunity. There's a huge focus on Canadian-made products,
Right.
products that are manufactured locally, where we can support ourselves and be self-sustaining from, an economical standpoint. So I really think this industry is only going to continue to grow and expand.
Definitely, it's booming right now. And as you correctly said, this is the time for the Canadian local market to, boom.
Definitely.
What do you think, Emma and Katie, are some of the, trends and challenges that you see shaping the future of the industrial and MRO market? And how is Donwin Marketing adopting to these changes, and how are you ensuring that the same quality is delivered to your clients continuously throughout the process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of the challenges that the industrial market faces are very similar challenge that most industries in Canada are facing right now. A couple things that come to mind quickly. There's a digital transformation happening in our industry, and I think everybody is experiencing that. There are heightened expectations by our customer base to be available at all times and responsive in a very short timeline and deliver in an even quicker one.
Right.
So I think, ourselves and the companies we represent and the customers that we sell to are all trying to find ways to incorporate that digital transformation into their businesses. I know the ways that we're trying to do it really come from a marketing perspective. So that's not something historically that we've done in the past, but we're putting much more of a focus and an emphasis on, incorporating digital marketing tools into our businesses.
Right.
And it's a big shift for us, but we're seeing the return on it. So, we're invested into it long term. Other challenges, again, not unique to us, but workforce challenges. We definitely have, a talent gap coming in the industry. As Katie mentioned, not everybody knows about this industry, even though it is so supportive of
They're
our
not aware
economy.
about it.
Yeah, it's not the most glamorous thing, construction and manufacturing. And there's a huge group of people that are getting close to retirement. So there's this big gap coming where we need new talented people in the industrial workforce, which presents, a tremendous opportunity as well. We're constantly, to combat that in our business when we're hiring and recruiting, instead of defaulting to hiring with industrial experience, we're looking outside and going, let's hire based on talent and bring people in that
And
we
then
can
give
learn
them
the
training
ropes.
on the job.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then I think lastly, just economic pressures. Everyone in the supply chain is feeling the economic pressures, especially right now. So we're always trying to make sure that we're aligned with companies that have value-added services. It's very difficult for us to sell commodities or represent commodities with that economic pressure right now. So we really want to make sure that we're working with companies that have that extra value add so that we can combat that pressure.
Wow, great strategy. Staying ahead of the curve and adapting to market dynamics, it's crucial for continued success in literally any industry out there.
Yeah.
Now, let's explore what sets Donwin Marketing apart from other agencies and the strategies that you use to drive success for your clients. I know you mentioned your USPs. Now, let's expand on that. Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking to expand your sales reach, build stronger relationships with distributors, and access top quality products for your business? Consider partnering with a sales agency like Donwin Marketing and discover how their expertise can help you achieve your growth objectives. Okay, we'll be right back with insights on what sets Donwin Marketing apart and the strategies they use to drive success for their clients. Stay tuned to learn more about their unique approach to building a successful agency.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us, still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
Connect and recharge.
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into how Donwin Marketing differentiates itself in the competitive agency landscape and explore the tools and technologies they're using to accelerate growth and enhance client services. In this segment, we'll explore how Donwin Marketing differentiates itself, leverages technology to drive growth, and prepares strategically for expanding into new markets. Now, the agency landscape is competitive, right? We'd all agree with that. Go ahead and let our listeners know, how do you guys differentiate yourself and stand out within the industry? Like, when you started the business, what was that one motto that you are still following till date?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I mean, I'd love to throw back to Emma's dad, because he had, since 2002 created a really strong brand name. And I think for a company like ours, that brand name, the name Donwin Marketing means something.
Right.
And it's very important. Just like any brand, it's easy to tarnish, and it's really hard to rebuild it if that happens. I don't think it's overcomplicated. I think, for Emma and I, we learned early on in our career, even before we came on to Donwin Marketing, that there's a couple of key things that can make or break relationships with customers.
Right.
And it comes down to just acting honestly with integrity day in and day out. It's as simple as, doing what you say you're going to do.
Right. Sticking to it,
Yeah. Following up with customers, the response time, which Emma mentioned. I mean, it is, I think sometimes it's alarming how many people reach out looking for something, and they're trying to buy something and they can't get an answer from somebody. So just being able to respond quickly and be proactive when you're bringing products to market, and making sure that your customers have all of the information, and being a business partner and looking out for what's going to do well for their business.
Right.
I think that's really all it is. It's just, doing the right thing for your customers, and, the results follow.
Great, you guys are very authentic. Now, you mentioned specific tools and technologies that you guys have been using, right? Can you share with our listeners what those tools and technologies are, specifically to, accelerate growth within your business? And also, with the AI buzz going around, it's not a buzz anymore, but how are you guys exploring the AI options?
Yeah, great question again. So for a small and medium-sized business, investing in technology and integrating it into your company is a pretty big deal, right? You want to make sure that there's an ROI on it, because it's a significant investment.
Right.
So we use the basics in our business. About 5 years ago, we introduced a new CRM to our business, which for a small business is a huge investment. And there's all these different options, and you're kind of looking at them going, do I need this? Am I going to get that return on investment? So we found one that really catered to our business, and I think to make it really successful right off the hop, we were very focused on developing a culture around it with our team, that we weren't putting this in place as, a checkup. We weren't kind of looking over people's shoulders or, watching their activity. This was an investment in each individual on our team's performance, and that culture has really translated to making this a valuable investment, because our teams use the tool. They find that it accelerates their day. It makes them more effective, more efficient, and they can work more
productive.
strategically. 100%, yeah. And anytime you can get time back in your day, it's a huge return. So that's some of the technology that we've invested in, and I think that's the way that we've really tried to deploy it so that it's effective. On the AI piece, I mean, I think personally, we had both sort of explored AI tools in our personal lives, but we hadn't really crossed the bridge of using them professionally.
Right.
And we really just didn't know where to start. And at the end of last year, we attended a conference and the keynote speaker was talking about AI. And the big message that he was giving to the entire group was just try. There are all these different tools available to you that are not so complex. A lot of them are complementary.
Right.
And just try to find ways to integrate it into your business, break that barrier, break the ice, and give it a shot and just sort of see, how it feels and what it can do. So we took that back to our group, and I think any business can do this. And we said, hey, look at your week and look at your day and identify those areas where you're losing time and you're losing resources, and you could maybe be a little bit more efficient, and see if you can incorporate AI into those to make you a little bit faster.
Right.
So we've used, some of the basic chat bots. I know you use ChatGPT. I like Perplexity. There's a million of them out there. And when you've got those tasks that, you're avoiding and you
The
just
repetitive tasks.
or you just don't know where to start, you can lean on those tools. And again, they're complementary to all of us. And they can really just accelerate the speed on a certain project. So we've started integrating it just to sort of improve, our efficiencies on certain things. And it's been really impactful.
Anything that can put time back in your day that you can allocate to, doing more meaningful sales functions, I think is a win. So we're definitely, I think we're in the early stages of adoption, but we're giving it a try. And so far, I think we're pleased with the results. So
Great. I agree with you. If you don't try, how will you get to know, right? It's trial and error method at the end of the day. What works for you, works for you. Now, that was a very forward-thinking approach. Embracing technology and exploring the potential of AI can help agencies like Donwin Marketing optimize their operations and deliver even greater value to their clients. Now, you mentioned that Donwin Marketing is currently expanding its territory coverage to include Quebec and the Atlantic provinces. So, please tell us more about that.
Yeah. We're really excited about this. As mentioned, our agency has been very successful expanding and growing the Ontario market for over 20 years. I'm originally from Nova Scotia, so I think there was definitely a bit of a pull back to the East Coast. And when we talked about
the roots,
that's it. When we talked about expanding and growing the business, I think the only direction we looked was east. But we've had this success in Ontario for so long that now we're at a point where we're going to get to really expand and grow our team and the brands that we represent across Eastern Canada. And so we're really excited about this opportunity to scale what we've already got and continue to grow it.
Great, very exciting. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
But I'm sure you must have come across some challenges, right? Or some opportunities that you anticipated in the whole expansion process. Can you walk us through some of them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this is probably very similar for many businesses. I think one of the most important decisions a business ever makes is who they're hiring. And we did talk about this already, but the talent acquisition piece is so critical to your company's success and to our company's success. We're a small team. And so, we are very diligent and thoughtful about anybody that we bring on board. It, means everything for them to be able to go grow our business and represent our brand. There's definitely logistical and financial challenges that come with any form of growth. But I really think that talent piece is the most integral part of it.
Great. That's a very exciting development. Expanding into new markets can present both challenges and opportunities, and careful planning and preparation can, change the entire trajectory of your journey. Now, Emma, your insights on the agency model and the industrial MRO market and your strategies for, differentiation and growth have been incredibly valuable, first of all. If there's one key message that both of you want to give to the listeners to take away from our discussion today, what would it be and why?
Yeah, I think on the agency side, if you're thinking about starting a small business or buying a small business, don't overlook agencies. I think professionally and personally, it's an incredible business model and it's often overlooked. For companies that are evaluating their go-to-market strategy, same thing. Consider an agency. And, most of our partners we've met through word of mouth. So if you're thinking about, deploying a new strategy in a market, ask your customers if they've worked with agents before, set up a couple interviews, have a couple conversations. We've got some relationships that are upwards of 20 years, and they've been very mutually beneficial. So, I think just give that agency model a little bit of attention. And then lastly, don't overlook the industrial environment. Like, we absolutely love the industry that we're in. It's welcomed us with open arms. We are having an absolute blast operating in it. And it is truly an industry that is supporting the Canadian economy day in and day out. So I think there's a ton of opportunity for people in, any facet of their career to join a really thriving industry.
Yeah, I think the stability of this industry is something too that we haven't really touched on, but we joined Donwin right around when the pandemic started. And I think we all saw the impact that the pandemic had and how quickly it disrupted certain industries.
Right.
And, certain segments like hospitality were really drastically negatively impacted, unfortunately, by the pandemic. And although we did experience our own challenges with, supply chain and price, product availability, things like that, for the most part, our customers were very busy throughout the pandemic because even with that going on, manufacturing has to continue. Food and beverage is still getting, the meat processing is still happening. Roads still need to be built. Hospitals still need to be built. So the stability of this industry is something that, when you're looking at a career path or trajectory that you want to be on, it's a very solid future. And again, with what's going on today, I think this is going to be a very, dynamic and growing industry for many years to come.
Wow, that's a very powerful message. Before we let you go, one last question. If I were to give you a time machine right now, first of all, would you go in past or future? And what is that one thing that you would change or would like to see? First, let's... okay, you decide. Both of you are thinking, so...
I would only go backwards if I knew everything I knew now.
Yeah,
for
of course.
Sure.
Wouldn't everybody?
Yeah. And I would only go forwards if I could come back here and know everything I learned then.
I think, with the expansion, I'd have to say I'd go forward. I want to see where we're going to be in 5 years. That's, we're very excited about this, and what our business looks like 5 years from now or 10 years from now is, I think I wouldn't miss the chance to see that. Going backwards, I don't know. We've already lived that. So.
I know, yeah. I'm happy right here today. We have so much in front of us, so we're pretty happy where we are now.
That just shows how content you are from within. That's very nice. Katie and Emma, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your insights here with us today.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. That was an insightful conversation with Cornelius and Emma Irwin, partners at Donwin Marketing, on the value of the agency model, the dynamics of the industrial and MRO market, and the strategies for building a successful and differentiated business. Thank you so much for tuning into the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website, CanadianSME.ca, for more valuable information and tools. A very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, IHG Hotels and Resorts, and Google, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses in Canada. Until next time, keep innovating and striving for success. We'll see you in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.